Hello again, it's Sam with BlindShell. Today we're going to take a quick look at the brand new BlindShell Classic 2. The BlindShell Classic 2 is an update from the previous model, the BlindShell Classic. And although they look very similar, the BlindShell Classic 2 is an upgrade in just about every single way. The BlindShell Classic 2 has brand new hardware, and in fact, the hardware was designed by award-winning designers from the Czech Republic. We'll take a quick look at some of the features, the new hardware features, including this new full physical keypad. The designers have improved the tactile elements of the keypad, including adding a much more pronounced bump on the 5 and individually shaped and raised buttons for controlling the phone. The upper left button is your quick settings button. It's also where you can access your notifications. Right below that on the left is the green answer call button. This is also a raised circle. The upper right button is used for repeating what is on the screen. So no matter where you are, if you need to know what's on the screen, you can just tap that and it will read it out loud to you. Just below that is a red diagonal line, and that is the end call button. In the middle here, we have an upper button and a lower button. Those are the buttons you use to navigate through your menus. We have some new buttons added to the sides of the BlindShell Classic 2. Here on the left side, you have the volume up and volume down buttons. Then on the right side here, you have a brand new button, and this is a programmable button to launch some of your favorite applications. We still have one more button on the phone, and that is the very popular SOS button on the back here. This is also a programmable button, so you can program emergency numbers to this button or even family members, neighbors' phone numbers, whatever you would like. We have a new high-resolution 8-megapixel camera on the back with a flash. You even have a flash on the top of the phone here that is used for the flashlight. To charge the BlindShell Classic 2, we're now using a USB Type-C cable. And this is great because it doesn't matter which way you plug it in, it's going to fit either way. Of course, you also get the charging cradle in the box. With the charging cradle, you can plug that in and have that just sitting on a desk or a table somewhere. And then you can simply set the phone into the charging cradle to start charging the phone. Two last things to mention about the hardware is we have a brand new 3000 milliamp battery in the BlindShell Classic 2. That's a very large battery, which means you're going to have a much longer battery life with this phone. Also built into the back of the phone here is NFC technology. That's some very useful technology that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. The BlindShell Classic 2 is still running its award-winning software with some new additions. The first thing is this large graphical home screen. We have a very large, easy to read clock and some other helpful information. For example, connected to Wi-Fi and our battery life. The BlindShell Classic 2 does have Wi-Fi. It also supports Bluetooth and GPS.
Contacts, 3 of 7. Applications, 4 of 7.
We still have our large graphical interface with the large icons and the large text that's easy to read. This is all customizable. You can make this text even larger if you would like. You could change the color scheme. You'll also notice the brand new loudspeaker.
Volume 8. Volume 9. Volume 10.
And it gets very loud.
Internet browser, 1 of 8.
One of the newest additions to the BlindShell Classic 2 is the brand new internet browser. So now you can visit your favorite websites with a fully accessible screen reader. The BlindShell Classic 2 also has several ways to stay connected with family and friends, including text messaging, email, and now the WhatsApp application. This allows you to make Wi-Fi phone calls and send messages to anyone around the world.
Internet radio, 4 of 6. Music player, 5 of 6. YouTube, 6 of 6.
The phone is full of entertainment options, including FM radio, internet radio, a full book player, and even YouTube.
Books, 5 of 8. Games, 6 of 8.
Have a little downtime and looking for something to do? How about checking out some of the games installed on the phone?
Vision aids, 7 of 8.
The BlindShell Classic 2 also has a section for vision aids. These are very helpful assistive tools for the blind and visually impaired.
Localization, 3 of 5. Magnifying glass, 4 of 5.
We have a new magnifier built in. This uses the camera and the flashlight to allow you to zoom in on hard to read text.
NFC object tagging, 5 of 5.
We also have a new NFC object tagging application. This uses the NFC technology in the phone along with these NFC tags that come in the box. When you scan one of these tags with the phone, you can then assign an audio label to that tag. This will allow you to label all types of things like medications, cleaning products, spices in your cabinet, even important documents.
Beepers, 1 of 5.
We also have the new BlindShell Beep application. Paired up with the new BlindShell Beep device, this allows you to keep track of your lost items. The BlindShell Beep has a little hole on it there, and you can clip this onto a pair of keys. You could throw it into a bag, maybe even slide it into a wallet. And if you ever need to find these items, you simply click on the button on the phone and the BlindShell Beep will start to beep and start to play a melody. That's going to make it very easy to find your misplaced items.
App catalog, 8 of 8.
One of the most impressive new features to the BlindShell Classic 2 is the new BlindShell App Catalog. This is essentially an application store where you can go and download brand new applications for your BlindShell Classic 2. Applications like Facebook Messenger and new games. You can even find audiobooks in the app catalog. The BlindShell team is constantly adding new applications to the catalog, which means you'll be able to continually add new functionality to your BlindShell Classic 2. Finally, one of the most impressive features of the BlindShell Classic 2 is its voice control, being able to dial phone numbers and send text messages with your voice. Well, now with the BlindShell Classic 2, you have offline voice control. This means you don't even need to be connected to the internet for that feature to work. So these are just a few of the highlights and new features of the BlindShell Classic 2. If you would like to learn more about what your phone can do, be sure to head over to our YouTube channel to watch more of our tutorial videos. Or if you would like to pick up a BlindShell Classic 2 for your very own, head over to our website, www.blindshell.com.